before there were pyramids, before Rome, before Greece. There was a land where civilization first learned to write, between two mighty rivers. Humanity built its first cities, wrote its first laws, counted the stars, and dreamed of empires. Welcome to World in 10 Minutes Visual History. Today, we're traveling back over 6,000 years, to the birthplace of civilization itself. This is the history of ancient Mesopotamia in 10 minutes. Chapter 1. Before Civilization. Long before history had names, before kings carved their victories into stone, before the first city ever touched the horizon, there was only a vast plain between two restless rivers. Every year, the Tigris and Euphrates flooded without warning. Sometimes they brought life. Sometimes they brought destruction. To most people, this land seemed impossible to tame. But a few families refused to leave. Instead of running from the rivers, they learned to understand them. They planted seeds into the rich black soil left behind by the floods. Season after season, the harvest grew larger. Food became plentiful. Children no longer had to wander in search of survival. Villages slowly expanded. Neighbors became communities. Communities became something the world had never seen before, without realizing it. These ordinary farmers were about to ignite the greatest revolution in human history. Because the first civilization would not begin with an empire. It would begin with a single decision: to stay. Chapter 2. The First Cities. What happens when thousands of strangers choose to live together? The answer changed human history forever. Around 3500 BC, on the fertile plains of southern Mesopotamia, a settlement unlike anything the world had ever seen began to rise. Its name was Uruk. What started as a farming village became a city filled with crowded streets, bustling markets, towering temples, and thousands of people pursuing different lives. Farmers grew food. Potters shaped clay. Merchants traded goods from distant lands. Priests led sacred rituals. But as the city grew larger, a new problem emerged. No one could remember every harvest, every trade, or every promise. Human memory had reached its limit. So the people of Uruk created something that would outlive every king, every empire, and even the city itself. They pressed simple symbols into wet clay. In that quiet moment, humanity discovered the power to preserve knowledge forever. The first written words had been born. Chapter 3. Kings, Gods, and Ziggurats. Have you ever wondered who held the greatest power in the world's first cities? It wasn't always the king. Long before towering palaces dominated the skyline, every Mesopotamian city was built around a single belief: that the gods ruled everything. From the first drop of rain, to every successful harvest, to victory or defeat on the battlefield, nothing happened without divine will. Rising above the crowded streets stood enormous ziggurats, their massive stairways reaching toward the heavens like bridges between earth and the gods. Here, priests interpreted sacred signs, offered sacrifices, and guided the fate of entire cities. But faith alone could not prevent ambition. As each city grew richer, its rulers hungered for more land, more wealth, and more power. Soon, neighboring kingdoms no longer saw each other as partners. They became rivals. And the birthplace of civilization was about to become the birthplace of organized warfare. Chapter 4. The First Empire. For centuries, Mesopotamia was divided. Dozens of powerful cities stood proudly behind their walls, each believing it could rule forever. But history is often changed by a single person. Around 2334 BC, a man named Sargon of Akkad appeared from humble beginnings and dared to imagine something no ruler had ever achieved. Not another city. Not another kingdom. An empire. His armies marched farther than anyone thought possible, crossing rivers, deserts, and enemy walls. One by one, the great city-states that had fought each other for generations fell beneath his banner. For the first time in history, millions of people from different cultures, languages, and beliefs were united under a single ruler. The age of independent cities was over. A new idea had been born, that one leader could reshape the known world. And from that moment on, every conqueror in history would chase the same impossible dream. Chapter 5: Hammurabi's Code, when justice was carved in stone. What if every decision in your life, your marriage, your business, or even your survival, depended on words carved into stone? Around 1792 BC, a new king rose in the city of Babylon. His name was Hammurabi. Unlike many rulers before him, he believed that lasting power was not built by conquest alone. It was built by order. As Babylon grew into the most powerful city in Mesopotamia, people from different cultures, professions, and traditions lived side by side. Without clear rules, chaos was inevitable. So Hammurabi did something no king had ever done on such a scale. He ordered nearly 300 laws to be carved onto a towering stone monument for everyone to see. For the first time, justice was no longer hidden behind the palace walls. The law became visible, predictable, permanent. And its influence would echo through legal systems for thousands of years to come. Chapter 6: The Legacy of Knowledge. What if I told you that every time you look at a clock or draw a circle, you're using ideas born more than 4,000 years ago? The greatest achievement of Mesopotamia wasn't its armies. It wasn't its kings. And it wasn't its towering cities. Its greatest creation was knowledge. While empires fought for land, Mesopotamian scholars searched for something far more powerful: understanding. Night after night, they watched the stars move across the sky. They recorded eclipses, measured time, calculated numbers with astonishing precision. Engineers transformed unpredictable rivers into lifelines through vast irrigation canals. Scribes filled thousands of clay tablets with discoveries about mathematics, astronomy, medicine, trade, and daily life. Long after their cities had fallen into silence, their ideas refused to disappear. Because civilizations may crumble into dust, but knowledge has a way of outliving every empire that creates it. Chapter 7: The Fall of Mesopotamia and the Civilization That Never Truly Died. Can a civilization disappear if the world still lives by its ideas? For thousands of years, Mesopotamia stood at the center of human progress. But no empire is eternal. Wave after wave of conquerors crossed the Fertile Crescent. The Assyrians marched in with unmatched military power. The Babylonians reclaimed the land and restored its glory. Then came the Persians, forging an empire greater than anything Mesopotamia had ever known. One by one, its great cities fell silent. Its towering ziggurats crumbled beneath wind and sand. Its people changed. Its rulers vanished. Yet something extraordinary survived, hidden inside broken clay tablets: ancient laws, mathematics, writing, astronomy, and the very idea of the city itself continued their journey through history. Mesopotamia did not vanish. It simply stopped being a place and became the foundation upon which every great civilization would rise. The cities of Mesopotamia eventually fell. Its kings were forgotten. Its temples became ruins buried beneath the sand. But its greatest inventions never disappeared: writing, law, mathematics, astronomy. The idea that people could build great cities, govern vast kingdoms, and preserve knowledge for future generations. Those ideas traveled far beyond the Tigris and Euphrates. They crossed mountains, seas, and centuries. Eventually, They reached a rugged land of rocky hills and scattered islands along the Mediterranean. There, a new civilization would ask questions no empire had asked before. Not just how to rule, but how to think, how to debate, how to discover, how to understand the universe itself. That civilization was ancient Greece. And while Mesopotamia gave humanity its first foundations, Greece would reshape the way the world thinks forever. In our next journey, we'll uncover how a collection of small city-states gave birth to philosophy, democracy, science, and some of history's greatest legends. This is the history of ancient Greece in 10 minutes. Until then, remember, every civilization inherits the achievements of those who came before it, and every great story begins with another. See you in the next 10 minutes.